I was looking at my schedule for this season of the BBL, and I realized I play so many weather teams. Like out of 10 weeks, I play at least like 6 or 7 teams with weather, which is kind of annoying. It might be like 5 or 6, but I don't know. Either way, it's annoying that we have to face so many weather teams. And as you can see, we are facing Arashi YouTube. I don't want to butcher his team name, the something Noctowl, so I'm just gonna say that. But check him out. Channel link and stuff will be down below. If you guys may have missed our team builder, that is also down in the description. Hit that thumbs up button down below if you do enjoy this match. So a whole lot of you said that you kind of liked me doing post-com for BBL battles, because I'm gonna keep WBE live. I may do like 1 or 2 weeks of the BBL live if I'm feeling it, but yeah, for the most part, you guys said you liked the post-com, so hey, we're going to keep BBL post-commed for now until a majority of you guys say you want them to be live, I suppose. But yeah, if you want to know what I'm bringing, of course, team builder down below. And looking at our matchup here, I was really surprised to see that, first off, our opponent brought the Sun Core of Maractus and Torkoal, but most importantly, I was really shocked to see that he did not end up bringing Primarina. Primarina was something that I was definitely very terrified of going into this game. I was more afraid of Primarina than I am of Maractus plus Torkoal, but the first 4 mons are definitely what I did expect them to want to bring. Hariyama, I need to find out what kind of set it is running. It could be a little bit problematic if he has something like a Trick Room core with the Reuniclus, if it is Trick Room. And speaking of the Reuniclus, he is going to immediately lead off with the Reuniclus. I tried to combine immediately and lead. Apparently, that's how my brain thought about it, and then my mouth just went along with it, saying, "Yeah, it's okay. There's nothing wrong with it." But yeah, whatever. So turn 1, I tried to get on my rocks, except I ended up misclicking on the flamethrower and I facepalmed super hard. I was like, maybe he'll switch in the Sizzler, I guess, and I can just be like, oh hey, yeah, I totally predicted that. No, I don't lie when I try to do post-coms, unlike some other people who shall remain unnamed. So I see him go for the Combine, and I go immediately for the Groundium Z Earthquake. I need to absolutely nuke this Reuniclus. Unless he has HP Ice, there is no way he's going to be able to one-shot me. I saw that he had leftovers, so I'm not worried about him being Psychium Z, so I can live a Psychic, go for this Groundium Z Earthquake, and then the following turn knock him out with a second Earthquake. But he busts out the Trick Room, which I was not expecting, and now I'm thinking, oh crap, that's going to be like Flame Orb offensive Fat Hariyama, and that's actually going to be a little bit annoying. So he definitely wanted to have the speed tiers in his favor in this game. Trick Room with the Reuniclus, potentially with the Hariyama, and then he's got Sun to double Maractus' speed. Thankfully though, he doesn't have the HP Ice, and I'm able to at least get rid of this Reuniclus very early on in this match. Unfortunately though, in comes the Hariyama. Of course, it is in Trick Room still, so I cannot stay in and get dropped by anything he wants to go for, which is why I make an aggressive switch directly into my Quillfish, and Arashi makes an excellent play here, goes for the Earthquake, most likely knowing I wouldn't stay in here. Plus, him Earthquaking covered me potentially bringing in my Necrozma if I really wanted to bring that in instead of Quillfish here. So he does end up doing a really good chunk of damage to me, but it's not entirely too bad just because I can still get off decent damage with the Poison Jab. I see that he does not have the Flame Orb, which is amazing, and judging for how much little that Poison Jab did, that is definitely an Assault Vested Hariyama more than likely. So I believe I just go for another Poison Jab, or I think I actually switch out here into my Aerodactyl, thinking that he would go for either the Earthquake or the knockoff once again, as he actually pulls a switch into his Torkoal here, and down goes to Trick Room, which is nice because now what I can do is see what kind of Torkoal this is, whether it be offensive or defensive. Regardless though, I don't want to just let him get up rocks for free. I am a very bulky Mega Aerodactyl. I can pretty much live any hit that he wants to go for, as he turns out to have the Flamethrower, and luckily not the Lava Plume, because if he had Lava Plume then obviously he could have burned me a lot easier. So I taunted him there. I don't know if he does have rocks on it or not. I figure, or I assume he's going to have rocks on Torkoal, so I'm just going to try and go for the rock side here, as I actually do a surprisingly good chunk of damage to the incoming Scissor. Like, I have little to no attack investment on this Aerodactyl, if I'm not mistaken. I think I only have around 40 attack investment, so that rock slide doing that much figured to me that he most likely is just running max HP and being purely offensive. So I decided to switch directly into my Qwilfish here. It does kind of suck that I lost my Rocky helmet, but regardless, I can still live anything he wants to go for, as he does just go for the safe bullet punch. This is good for me because I can definitely take another one if he really wants to stay in here, and what I can do is just go ahead and get up a layer of T-spikes or potentially a layer of spikes. I could also go for the Scald to try and fish for the burn, but on the off chance that he did want to bring in Hariyama here, I actually don't want to go for the Scald, because if I burn it and he does have guts, that's just going to be really bad for me. So I decided to get up a layer of spikes and then a layer of T-spikes here. T-spikes are going to be amazing because even if he does have the rapid spin on the Torkoal, then I'm still going to be able to poison it on the switch in, and now spikes is hitting the Scizor. There is a chance he could have defog on Yveltal, but I really doubt he is going to have it. So after living the close combat here, I figured that I could probably still save my Qwilfish for later in this match as a sack fodder if it really comes down to it. So I decided to make an aggressive switch here into my Mega Aerodactyl, which just eats the bullet punch because, again, I am very bulky on this Mega Aerodactyl, and it's actually putting in a good amount of work. So after the layer of spikes, I put him directly in range of where another Aerial Ace will indeed be able to knock him out, but I'm worried that he's going to go straight for the bullet punch, and from how the remainder of this match could possibly go, it's going to be very beneficial for me to keep my Mega Aerodactyl in the back. So if he does want to go for the bullet punch, I switch into my Garchomp, which I think he would have knocked himself out to the rough skin damage, but he ends up going for the defog, and that was so upsetting to see because I could have stayed in and gone for the Aerial Ace just to knock out the Scizor, and my spikes would have been here to stay. But hey, Garchomp is a beast, and I live on 1 HP, as I will be able to at least get up my Stealth Rocks. If I can't get up my spikes later, that is fine. Having rocks up is more than enough because I should have had them up early in the match here, and I guess I would have been able to get him up regardless. But having rocks up is going to be amazing for the Yveltal, which, speaking of Yveltal, he is going to decide to bring it in here. I'm guessing that this is potentially Scarfed, or he maybe thinks that I'll go for an offensive move. That way he can just hit me with a Sucker Punch. Regardless, though, I don't have much use for my Garchomp, but it turns out that not only am I faster than him, but he then ends up going for the U-turn, and he is in range of a Rough Skin will knock him out. I don't think that this could have gone any more perfectly for me. Like, I got off the damage on Yveltal, and it just basically knocked itself out. So one giant threat is now gone. I think he's down to his Maractus, his Torkoal, and his Hariyama, all three of which are still very healthy, but they shouldn't be entirely too threatening against me. Like, Maractus is only really going to be a problem if I let it set up for free without potentially punishing it. So hopefully I will be able to avoid that scenario, as unfortunately I miss my Rock Slide here on the Torkoal, and he's able to get up his Stealth Rocks. I thought about going for Taunt there, and in hindsight I definitely should have, because I at least would have got something out of the turn. But now my Qwilfish will be knocked out by the rocks, which is not entirely too bad, honestly. So it's not that big of a deal. And what I can do here is try to stall out these turns of Sun, because if Maractus is not in Sun, then it's not a threat literally whatsoever. So I'm able to get a little bit of justice here for missing the Rock Slide, and I flinch him, and then I figured, well, I don't want to knock him out. I don't really know what his EV spread is at this point, but he is around 26% HP. So he does have one more Stealth Rock switch in, which is a little bit annoying, but hopefully I'll be able to at least stall out enough turns to where I can knock him out on the final turn of Sun, and then everything will be fine and dandy. But he ends up going for a Flamethrower here, as I went for the taunt to not try and knock him out, and I guess maybe to stop him from going for like Toxic or something, I don't know. But he ends up burning me with the Flamethrower, so that is a little bit annoying, because now he's going to be able to switch out here into the Hariyama. But I did end up going for the Aerial Ace, just because I knew that because now I am burned, I can put the Torkoal guaranteed in below 25% range, and then that way he won't be able to switch back in and survive rocks. But he makes a smart play here by bringing in the Hariyama. Even though I did go for the Aerial Ace, it is not quite strong enough to finish him off, but it's really not that big of an issue, considering that I can just sack off my Qwilfish here, bring in my Necrozma, and if Sun is up, again, as long as I don't let Maractus set up for free, everything is pretty much fine. Like, I guess in hindsight I could have maybe gone for a Swords Dance here, but because he can bring in the Torkoal, I figured he's going to bring in Torkoal immediately after I knock out the Hariyama. So if anything, I might as well just let him bring it in. There's no real point for me to set up, because if the Maractus has no bulk whatsoever, and Adamant Max Attack Photon Geyser after rocks is able to knock him out. And I kept looking through all the moves that Maractus learned, and it didn't really have anything to hit me for entirely too much damage. Like, outside of hitting Power Fire, if it was like Modest Life Orb in the sun, I guess that's the scariest thing Maractus would have been able to hit me with, but even then I still tanked the hit because I am max HP. And if you saw my team builder, I was supposed to have Colberberry on this Necrozma, but I accidentally had to edit the one from my week 1 match, and I forgot to change leftovers to Colberberry. But I guess it kind of helps me out here because I guarantee live a hit from Maractus, worst case scenario, as it is at full HP. But he ends up going for the Spiky Shield, which has me thinking, okay, maybe his defensive, which I don't know, could be a little bit annoying. Like, I could still potentially play around the sun turns if it really comes down to it, but hopefully it won't be entirely too bulky to the point where it's able to somehow just wreck through the rest of my team in like 6 turns or so. But he ends up going for the Z Growth, which gives you a +3 attack and +3 special attack in the sun, if I'm not mistaken, because a regular growth in sun already gives you +2/+2, so Z is +3/+3, but it just dies to my Photon Geyser, and we are able to pull out the victory here for week number 2. So yeah, good game to our opponent here. Shouts out to the wrestling nicknames. I think I should have gone back to the WWE names just for this match, but yeah, check him out. Channel link and stuff will be down below. I'm not sure what he was thinking with the Garchomp and the Yveltal. I think he said that he thought his Yveltal was Scarf, but it was actually Specs. I'm not sure, but go watch his side of the match. And with that being said, I will see you all next week with our week 3 match, and most likely see you tomorrow on Tuesday with something else. So yeah, fingers crossed on hopefully me getting a video up tomorrow. But yeah, with that being said, later.
Because my brain and heart are both tied in the knot, and this hinders me from crying a lot. This causing me to show no emotion. But when I said I cared, I wasn't joking. But I guess it's too late for me to become broken. For now, I'm living with no more pain, tears, or hoping. I'm just coasting. Yeah, I said I'm coasting. No more pain, tears,